It's a lovely drink. It's effervescent and it speaks to the holiday. Thank you very much. Cheers. Cheers. L'chaim. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam.
So when I was younger, I used to lie a lot, and then as I got older, lying went away, but I started bullshitting, and I don't know, I'm at this point now where I try my hardest not to, right? And so when someone is like blatantly fucking talking out of their ass, it's so easy now to just pull out your phone and say, well, let's look it up real quick.
But you make a bigger point about lying, because lying used to be so easy and like just, it was just an easy thing to do. And now when you lie, it's really got all these consequences. And plus, I'm going to be dead soon. And, what's the consequences of that?
Wait, you're going to be dead soon?
Well, not this or immediately, but relatively soon.
Yes.
I mean, COVID, anxiety.
For sure.
Forest fires. And
the whole world's just going to shit. I mean, especially the U.S.
Right. I mean, Canada won't even let us in. So I'm stuck in this nightmare.
You are. I mean, I think we all are stuck in this nightmare.
But I'm trying to be positive. I'm keeping it positive.
You sound positive right now. I love it.
I am. It can only get better.
It is.
But again, as a hermit, I do like the COVID lifestyle. I'm very happy. I love the fact that I have an excuse every day. And if my parents are coming over, sometimes they go, no, come on over. You're 86, right? Yeah, come on over. Yeah, no, let's do it. Let's do it.
Excuse my interruption, but Mickey, I do have to say, I think it's a perfect transition. Can you tell the world, who are your parents?
Yeah. And who are you?
Who are you?
I am Mickey Yablans, formerly of Beverly Hills.
Okay.
I was exiled, but yeah, and now I live in Agora Hills, Thousand Oaks. My father is Erwin Yablans. My mother's Diane Yablans. Erwin Yablans is the creator of the Halloween horror movie extravaganza, and which explains a lot of my childhood and a lot of my current life as well. But it was a fun way to grow up in that kind of creative, just amazing world where one day I'm seeing Jamie Lee Curtis naked, and the next day, he's throwing up on, Sammy Davis Jr.'s bed. I mean, it's just a weird way to live. Yeah.
That is incredible. That, there are, I don't want to say very few times, but, throughout this whole experience of podcasting, when people say, when I was younger, I saw Jamie Lee Curtis naked and then Sammy Davis Jr. I mean, it's just incredible to think and to be able to look back at that for you, growing up with your parents and who they were. At that time, did you even realize like the magnitude of the imprint, especially like your father has on, this generation, this culture of, Halloween for me is just, it's everything. I mean, as far as horror films go.
Listen, I mean, this could be a long. I mean, based on when and where I grew up, it could be a 24-hour name drop fest, because I mean, one end of my block, it was, my buddy Barry Robinson, whose dad happened to be Smokey Robinson, and a block away, my friend Tommy, his aunt was Diana Ross, who lived a block away, and then it was this person and that person, and so it was just part of the way, just where I lived. Yeah. So I thought everybody had, that kind of thing. Everybody took, a limo here and there and went to the Academy Awards and things like that. But
that's not the case. But it's kind of crazy thing, because like everything is relative to the individual. When they go through it, it's like you don't really appreciate things until you are able to look back on it, right?
That is exactly true. Yes, because many people who went to Beverly High, not the real Beverly High, and did theater, and they thought that, they lived in a bubble. They lived in an amazing, magical bubble. And then, you go out into the rest of the world, and that bubble gets popped in your face every day. And you start to say, wait a minute, I'm entitled to a lot more than that. So
absolutely. No, that's a really, really good point.
Thank you.
No, you're welcome.
I worked on it all evening.
Darling.
Mom, 5 more minutes.
Holy shit! So all right, so let's start from the beginning. You grew up in Beverly Hills.
Yeah. Didn't everybody?
No, not everyone. Not at all.
I went to 2 schools. I went to one school up until 8th grade, Hawthorne, and then I went to Beverly High for 4 years. And I lived in that little beautiful bubble, and it was fun. OJ was my coach one year.
Wait, what?
Yeah, O.J. Simpson, of course. Yeah.
Of course. What do you mean he was your coach for football?
No, baseball.
Baseball,
You know,
okay.
come on, you know. But he, the juice was loose back then, and it was. That was back when he was innocent. It was fun. It was fun times. I was innocent. He was innocent. The world was an innocent place.
Yes, absolutely. But what was that like? What was it? Was he nice? Was he cool? I mean, was he a dick?
He was a lot less. He had a lot less murderous tendencies. He was a lot more chill. He was in shape. He was always, douchey, but he was the juice.
Yeah, and so but he was your baseball coach.
Yeah. He was. I don't think we won that year. But yeah. But no. It was again. I'm just. It's just when you live in that world again. You don't even. You just take it for granted. These are the people that. Oh yeah, he does that too. But
of course, but now you're able to look back and talk about it and share these stories, and I think it's really exciting and it's awesome to hear because you get insight on all of these individuals, not in your own life, but the people that you're talking about. You get to hear really unique and rare stories, and it almost humanizes these individuals. Almost. So the juice was loose. That's a pretty awesome story. Now, was it because he had his kid was on your team?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. His kid was there, and there was so many other people that were just. But yeah, I mean, he was the coach, and we hung out with him. My dad knew him, and again, it was just part of that circle that we dealt with all the time. It was just a really weird. Bizarre way to live. So. Now, how did the Halloween series and all of that come into play into your life? Well, my dad was just becoming this was in 77, but this was before John Carpenter. This was before any of that stuff, actually. And my dad had been just starting to become an independent filmmaker. He was a distributor for Paramount Pictures, and he was. It was at my mom's urging. She said, "You know what? If you think you know so much, you just challenge him." Said, "Why don't you go and make a movie?" And he started to do that. And apparently, as the story goes, he was coming back from a plane trip one night, and he thought of the idea of the babysitter murders, and then when he was on the plane, he tried to think about Halloween as being and then he thought to himself, for sure that must have been copyrighted or something. There's a movie, it must have been, and there wasn't, and so it was open, and one thing led to another, and then again, it was one of those things. It's just like every great movie, all the stars aligned perfectly to just make it right, and. John Carpenter was just coming out of USC Film School, and the price was right, which was basically zero. So they got to hire him, but it was an amazing time. It really, really was. It was really, really cool, and to see it like what is 150 years later, and they're still making more of them. It's just amazing. It
literally is amazing. It's taken on a life of its own because the original came out in 78.
78.
Yeah, which is
And listen, my dad made some other clunker movies. That's what I'm saying. It's just amazing how productions can go through 5, 6. A great idea, a germ of a great idea, but when it all comes together, it's magic. And it's, Donald Pleasance and the whole thing. It was
it's like anything in life when all the stars align, right? And that's really something to say because that movie, set the tone for horror films. Like I don't know. I don't want to say it was like the first great, but it just really revolutionized what these horror films were because it almost feels real. It's not your, space goblins and shit like that.
And you know what? I mean, as good as the idea, the germ of the idea was, you got to just hand over fist to Carpenter for the music too. Because
oh my God.
And I still have an original reel-to-reel of Carpenter's original score on his Mini Moog. And I'm telling you, to do that score and then in 1978, because you try to watch that movie and you put mute on it and you don't listen to the music. It's it's ominous, it's scary, but it's nothing without the music.
No.
So, they were geniuses. They did a great job on it, and with the money that they had, the budget was like you couldn't get an extra for that now. So it was amazing.
Fucking awesome. Now, how did it come to play with you and being part of the film?
Well, I called my agent and I said, get me an audition with this. I really got to be a part of this picture. But no, it was again, talk about innocence. I went to an audition. My mom, being the star mom that she is, she drove me to the place. We went in. I met with. I don't even know if I met with Carpenter that time, but I met with the casting agent, and I read for the part. I got the part. And later on, I found out that lo and behold, my dad was going to be working on the movie too, and I was like, "Dad, we're going to be working on the same movie together." So he, he got me the part, obviously, but it was a sweet way to get the part, and but it was, I still should have got the male lead though. I should that kind of. I'm still talking to him about that.
Yeah. Okay. So you're going to fix it all these years later?
Well, it's in litigation. I can't talk about it right now, but it's. Yeah.
What did he think about Rob Zombie, doing the remake?
I'm a Howard Stern fan, so Rob Zombie doing anything was cool because the music.
Yes.
I think he's just a badass musician.
Yes.
He kicks ass, but it's antithetical to the idea of the original Halloween, which was just basically no gore, no blood.
Correct.
It's all theater of the mind. One of my dad's biggest contributions to the entire original was the mandate: just don't make it bloody. Don't make it a slasher. It's not a gore fest.
Yeah.
And it makes it harder for a filmmaker, and that's why Carpenter was so damn good at it. Good for it because he had that kind of talent to be able to pull it off.
Absolutely. Here, let's put this.
Oh, sorry.
No, you can move this wherever you want.
Oh, God.
But was he disappointed?
Who?
Your pops and Rob Zombie's version.
Oh, but listen, my dad at this point, he doesn't care. I don't think, to tell you the truth, I don't think he saw it.
No way.
No, yeah. Listen, again, I hats off to Rob Zombie.
Yeah.
He's an amazing artist, and I just, I get queasy with that stuff. It just doesn't, it doesn't resonate with me.
I get it. No, it's different. It's different.
And I'll be honest, excuse me. Why would you do that?
Zing!
That wasn't
You
cool.
got to cut that, bro.
Dude.
No.
Sorry. See, that's the stern side of me.
Come on, man.
Sorry. What was I doing before the burp?
I have no idea.
Oh.
I lost. No, I'm just joking.
You're talking about Rob Zombie.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I didn't see the whole film of the Rob Zombie one.
So you can't even quote on there.
Yeah, so basically I'm lying. I didn't see shit.
Yeah.
I saw about 3 or 4 scenes of it, and that was bloody enough to make me go, I was on cable, and I was watching it on cable, and when a certain amount of quarts of blood, and I'm out, I'm done.
Yeah, and especially with commercials, if there was any commercials too. That just kind of ruins the film.
Yeah, actually the commercials were pretty cool. They would fit in right at the right time. It was really nice.
The commercials were perfect.
Give it to TNT. They knew what they were doing.
All the stars aligned. They were just fucking. It should have been part of it.
It was part of that. Well, they had a bleach commercial for get stains out, and it was just like it was perfect. It was like blood comes right out, and it just couldn't have been better. It was eerie and sickening.
Oh my god, that's good. That's good. Seriously, you could be like like Scream commercial or like a Halloween commercial comes out. You know that deep voice. I can't do it, but you do a really good job.
Well, thank you. Well, when you get old and you smoked about 2 packs a day for about 30 years, that's what happened.
Did you quit?
Oh, I did. That's why I have the gum. That's why I'm chomping gum into the mic. Yeah.
Yes, perfect.
No smoking cigarettes for almost 2 years now.
Fuck yes.
Yeah, when they pull out a certain amount of your teeth, you go, you know what?
I'm done.
I don't want to wear dentures. So.
No, not at all.
No.
Yeah, I quit smoking cigarettes. Then I was vaping for like 8 years.
I did that
just
too.
quit. I quit 2 weeks ago.
And then the vaping thing was so douchey after a while too, with the giant blow smoking and everybody's trying to do extra dragon blows.
Of course. Well, that changed because now like the Juul and the smaller ones are all the ones that are in. But we're not going to know until years from now like how damaging it is to your health. And I don't give a fuck what people say. It might be better than smoking on your body, but it's still not fucking good.
You know what? Grow a pair and just
stop.
Just
quit.
stop.
Quit.
Actually, I to this day, the only thing, and I'm a hypocrite because the only thing, my friends know this. I've quit maybe 600 times.
Yeah.
And when they ripped out one of my molars, and they did it in such a and I just, and it was because the smoking.
Yeah.
And I just said, no, I can't. Age does it. After a while, you just go, I don't have that many, great years left. I want to make sure that I'm, I can surf naked.
Yes. Have you ever done that?
Yes. No, I haven't done that. No.
That just seems terrible.
It just seems cold. And then the shark thing,
come bite you in the nuts.
I'm the biggest pussy with the sharks. I can't.
Me too.
I would love a submarine. I would love to have a submarine.
Really?
Well, I can't afford a submarine.
Yeah,
but just to be in with a shark, that's not a cool thing.
No. For me, I love the ocean. I appreciate the ocean. I love boats, but I cannot stand being in the water for more than 5 seconds.
And that's why you're still alive.
Yes. Well, I mean, you know, I think you're. Can you look this up? What are you more?
Google check.
Yes,
Google check,
please, please.
Google check. Google check. Google check. Google
Gosh
check.
darn it! Let me ask him the question. A shark bite compared to getting hit by lightning. You understand my question? I can't put the words together.
See, he can interpret.
You know, seriously. I mean, he knows what I'm saying before
He's a
I even say
whippersnapper.
it.
He's a whippersnapper.
He is. Let's see.
Your odds of dying from lightning are 1 in 161,856.
Got it.
Compared
I was going to say. I was going to say.
Watch.
1 in more than 3.7 million of a shark attack.
I knew it. Okay, I wanted to be correct because I thought you were more likely to get hit by lightning, killed by lightning, than a shark. And I mean, look at the numbers: 161,000 compared to whatever the heck it is. Yeah,
3.7 million.
That's nuts, man. Yeah.
So when they're like, it's like odds of getting struck by lightning, you should say like odds of getting bit by a shark.
No, that's exactly what it should be. I mean, but still, I fucking hate. I don't know. Maybe it's like because I can't see. Like I don't know. I can't control the.
It's
area.
the abyss, the great unknown.
It is 110%. Okay, so let's bring it back to your story. Right, growing up Beverly Hills. How old were you when you started doing the Halloween? and all that
I
stuff?
was 9.
Oh shit! Yeah, you were young.
Oh yeah, nine, and it was the best. It was great, and I started doing some little things after that too. And no, it was a lot of fun. And we shot it in Pasadena. We shot it locally. It was amazing.
What was life like for a 9-year-old, but living in your shoes?
Well, it was interesting because sometimes you feel like hot shit, and then luckily with a dad who comes from Brooklyn, and he kept me in my. It was an interesting way to live. It was a very interesting way to live, but it was fun. It was fun. But what are you gonna say? It was a tough time too because there was just a lot of. My parents were going back and forth. It was just a weird time.
I get it. I get it. Trust me, I get it. When Halloween After it was done and it wrapped up and it came out, can you look back at that time and say things fucking changed in your life?
After Halloween?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that was 100%. I'll never forget when we went to one of the screenings and I heard the reaction, and then, everything changed after that. Every single thing changed after that. It was just, it was bizarre. It was really, really, but it's funny because it has more impact now because, with distance and the time, and you see, the legacy at the time, you think, you know what? All right, it was a great movie, and just there's a lot of great movies that come out, and you can name out a million of them, and they over time.
Well, Halloween is not. It is more than a great movie. It is, you have these like top 20 greatest films of all time, and it is in there. 100, and I'm not talking about any of the new ones. Not that they're bad, but
and it can't be
original.
It can't be a coincidence that I was in it.
No, you know what? You're absolutely correct.
I mean, it's not just
you were destined to be in Halloween.
I mean,
can I get a refill, please?
You mean too? By
you
the
want
way.
a refill?
I'm just saying, when I think Halloween, I think Jamie Lee Curtis and Mickey Yablans.
Yes,
in that order.
You know what's crazy? No. When you came here, right? This is my first time meeting you. But if I saw you walking down the street, you would just look so recognizable.
Well, I did some other films too. I did a film with Viggo Mortensen. I did a movie called Prison.
Really?
Oh yeah.
I've never seen it.
I know most people haven't. It was taken off most shelves. Yes, but it was a cool movie. Viggo Mortensen was the lead. It was
badass.
Oh yeah, it was his first. He was married to Zina Jervinka from X.
Okay, yeah.
And she came to visit, and that was in Wyoming. It was amazing. That was a really cool shoot. That was like 8-9 weeks in the middle of Wyoming. And
what was it based off of?
One of my dad's ideas, and just a vengeance story about a ghost in a prison because a guy gets murdered, because of a sheriff who, done him wrong, and then Viggo's character is like the reincarnation of the guy that got killed. And,
okay.
And then there's, prisoners but the prison itself was kind of the main thing because it was this sort of like medieval castle type of. And it's real. It was this rundown, and it was cool because my dad was really. My dad did this movie. I was in it, and my dad cast me across from a guy named Rhino, who in real life was actually a murderer. He was a convicted murderer.
Wait, obviously this was after the film, correct?
No. That's why they got him cheap, I guess. But he was a murderer, and his name. And I remember he took out his teeth all the time. He had these no, it was really repulsive, and it was very. I was doing a scene with him in a little 2x2 cell, and then I call cut, and then I go check the lighting. I'm like, can you check me, please? And I'm sitting there, and then to this day, I don't know if I repressed anything or whatever. But
it was like literally scary being around him.
Yeah, well, listen, I played the mute prison bitch. That was my title in the movie.
No.
It was Brian Young. You could still. I would rent this movie.
Wait, hold on. Can we look
it up?
Yeah, we should look it up. We should watch. I know you're in the middle of that.
Prison.
I want to watch the trailer of it. Dude, these drinks are really good. The Cauldron Cooler, that's what it's called, right?
But honestly,
signature cocktail.
Okay.
The Cauldron.
If you want to see me in my underwear, that's in my prime. That's what I was in that.
It was Calvin Klein, wasn't it?
No, that was like Fruit of the Jew. Fruit of the Jew.
Fruit of the Jew.
Fruit of the Jew. It's a prune.
It's a fruit of a Jew.
It's compote.
Okay,
It's good.
So how old were you when you did this one?
Oh, that was after I went to NYU, and then after going to NYU Tisch School of the Arts, where, by the way, a few more name drops, but yeah, William H. Macy was my teacher in NYU. That was
Wait, what?
William H. Macy, the actor.
I know who William H. Macy is.
Yeah, he was at theater of the. Oh boy, that was Practical Aesthetics Workshop at Lincoln Center. That was with David Mamet, and actually that was when Madonna was doing Speed the Plow right there on Broadway, right there too.
Damn.
So that was like a whole, and then I'm not even going to go into the whole Jennifer Aniston thing, but that was that too.
Wait, hold on.
God,
What do you mean by that?
Should please
No.
tell the Rose story.
Please.
It's just a sad stat. It really exposes the worst that I think at my worst what I was. I was a douchebag. And
Listen, I'll share you.
No, you can't.
At my worst. I have no problem doing it. If you, I think
I'm going
it's
to consolidate this really quickly though.
Yeah, and I mean, if you want to cut it out, you're more than welcome to. But I would love to hear it. But it's in your ballpark.
So anyway, my friend at the time was Christian Slater. And I met him because my dad was friends with his mom, Joanne Slater, and he was doing stuff in New York, and he was doing actually The Name of the Rose at that time, and I was at NYU. Wow. So then I met him, and then he introduced me to my friend Aramis, who we did a band together with Jeff Russo, who's now he was in the band Tonic and stuff like that. So it was a whole long time. Anyway, he set me up with a lovely young woman who's brilliant and wonderful, and I started dating her for a little while, and after like 2 or 3 weeks, we went to dinner, and at one point she introduced me to, we just sat down, and across, she said, I got to go meet my friend. We met Jennifer Aniston. She was just sitting there, and this was 1987, I think.
Oh, this is before Friends.
Yeah. She was still in high school.
Yeah, because Friends didn't come out till 94.
Yeah, and so anyway, luckily, my girlfriend at the time had to go to the restroom, and when she did, I did the only right thing to do, and I gave Jennifer my number, and I
That's
said,
perfect.
I said, you got to call me when you get back to your house.
Of course.
Because, it's really important. I don't want to tell you right now because, it would be in bad taste. So just call me when you get back.
Yeah.
And so, I run back, I say goodbye, go back. I'm like a little girl, like in the Brady Bunch. I'm like Jan, by the phone waiting. And she called, and then I said, I'm in love with you. And, I think, we should be together, and, that whole thing, of course. So the rest is really ugly. So, but yeah, that's what I went from. So we had a brief, a little thing.
You guys dated for
a microsecond.
Yeah. Wow. That's, whatever comes.
But
next.
it was interesting and it was fun.
Now that's crazy to look back on that, and
yeah, but the bad taste, the level of the bad taste that
Yeah, how old were you, man?
I was 39, 40.
Okay. No, you weren't.
No, I'm just kidding.
No, you weren't.
No, I was 18.
You weren't.
I was 18.
Okay. Seriously, if we were all judged by the things that we did when we were 18, the frontal cortex of your brain is not fully developed until you're 24, 25 years old.
I had a fixation with women at that time. Yeah.
Does that? That makes so much sense. So I don't think
to the detriment of anything that
is
productive. I guess.
You can think whatever you want, right?
Thank
you. You're welcome.
It's
a present.
I love you.
But when we're fucking young,
I know. But you look back when you go to sleep at night and go, God, that was such a dick thing to do. Maybe you don't, but I've been ingrained with a lot of anxiety and guilt.
Listen, man, I've eaten a lot of mushrooms. I've made peace with the things that I've done in my past.
So you got to write me a prescription.
Yes, absolutely. If you ever want some, my good friend, he cultivates them really well.
Rabbi Mochi.
Yeah, exactly.
I know,
yeah, he's the rabbinical Jew.
He's got it on from his payas.
Yeah.
It's growing from his payas.
It's growing from his payas. That's pretty crazy, though.
Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So, okay.
That's going to have to be like 98% edited out. But you know what?
Yeah.
It's good because I could die. We're talking about the shark thing and the thing. I need to get on my deathbed these stories out because they're fun.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, when you look back at that one story, where you're saying, go.
I have the trailer waiting.
Okay. I'm gonna wrap this up.
It up.
Thank you, I appreciate that. And the drink. Yes.
Is this for the right prison? Because there's another one, like a German porn.
I pulled you up on your IMDb.
Oh,
so,
hold on. We're gonna watch it in 1 second. Just pause it real quick. But look back at that time, man. It is what it is. We all do shit. The things that I've done in my past, if I look back on it,
really,
and still like held it, I'd have to fucking kill myself, and I'm not even lying. But we all learn and grow, and you're a different person.
Do you have siblings?
Yeah, I do, and I was gonna ask you that same question. Yeah, I'm the middle child though.
Oh, you have two others.
Yeah, younger and older. I have a younger sister, older brother. Actually, in my back house, my sister lives there.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
That's cool.
That's
very. And during this time, it's nice to have that kind of.
It is. I mean, family is really important. During.
I didn't used to think so, but the older I get, and especially because I have two kids.
Yeah.
Whatever my issues were with my parents are the best dang grandparents in the world.
Yeah.
I have two wonderful kids, and they're the best grandparents in the world.
Dude, you know what? When I was 15 years old, I was a fucking shit. My dad passed away when I was 17, but when I was 15, my grandmother lived with us, and I would, and I knew my father's safe was in my grandma's room, and she was blind, and so I would literally get on my hands and knees at night, crawl into the room, get the key from her, and go to the safe and steal money, and I stole fucking $4,000 or $5,000 from my parents, and my dad was so fucking mad. And I fully understand, right? I get it. And I ended up, like, how I got caught was because I got caught with a whole bunch of weed and drugs and all of this shit, right? But my dad was so amazing because although I did all of that, when Hanukkah came and Christmas came, right, I wanted these pair of turntables, and instead of not giving me anything, they still bought it for me, right? Which for me, I couldn't even comprehend or understand at that time.
But that's the lesson they gave you. That's
exactly, and so as an adult now, I look back at time and it's like, okay, we all make mistakes. You have to learn and grow from it, but other people make mistakes, and if you just write them off or throw them off or judge them by that one mistake, right? You'll never be able to look past those things because everyone is human. We all make mistakes. And so, for me, listening to your story, whatever happened, man, right? You're a different person today. You can reflect back on that point, and it's only made you a stronger person.
Shit, I really didn't feel this guilty before, but now I really... No, but it's funny. I appreciate that. Thank you. And I do. It really means something because, you do have regrets in life and things like that. Real quick, it's just so funny, the doppelgangerness, you know what I'm trying to say.
Yes, doppelgangerness.
God bless you. Thank you.
Yes.
Linguistics at work. So I too have a story of stealing from my dad, but the outcome was much better. I was in musical theater, and it was my senior year, and I had to do a scene from Oklahoma, and I had to find a pair of boots.
Okay.
And this is now the famous boot story in my family. I love this because I get to tell it out. I get to cleanse myself. My dad knows about it, so it's funny now. But so I used to go. I had to go to his closet to get a pair of boots. Put my hand in the boots, and I said, "Oh God, when there's getting a new pair of boots, there's paper in there. You have to pull the paper out." So I'm pulling the paper out, and it's going out, and it's going out. And as the paper's flying out of the boots, I noticed that these are $100 bills.
Oh my God.
This is not,
Yeah.
So I'm literally, just sitting there, in amazement. And I didn't even begin to count how much it was. But, then the whole question becomes, do you? And if you do, how much?
Yeah, well, you, of course, did. And
Well,
would've, too.
I don't want to,
Ruin the story.
ruin this. Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Of course you did.
Of course I did. So,
how you were a kid.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
But no, I took one, and I thought, you know what, he's gonna know, and so I spent the next night or two just in utter fear that he's gonna like an old miser go through each. I got 348,000, but he didn't, and after the 100 was gone, the question becomes, is the boot still available? You know.
Yeah.
And so I visited the boot from time to time.
Yes.
Those boots were made for walking.
Yes, they were.
Bang, bang.
Bam.
Boom, boom, boom.
And he never found out until.
Well, that's the interesting part, isn't it? So this is by the way, it's good that the jig was up at some point, because at some point I was going to, it'd be a crack dealer, or there's something was going to happen.
Yeah.
But my mom one day called me into her room and she said, "Mickey, look at this. Oh my God." And I said, and then I just played it off. I said, "Oh my God, what the hell is that? Oh my God." And so I got to play ignorant until I became an adult.
Oh my God.
Then I shared the story.
Yes. Yeah. It's so funny hearing that. And I'm going to bring it back to me, and then we're going to watch the thing, because you said $100, right?
Yeah.
And why that stands out to me is when the way I got caught was that in 1 week, I got busted by the cops 2 times for drugs. First, at the beginning of the week, I got busted for like an ounce of weed, right? And I was like 17, 18 years old, right? And I got a ticket, right? Because it was like under the limit. And then like 3 days later, I got busted with, I mean, no fucking joke, like 100 pills of ecstasy, like acid, mushrooms, coke, weed, Xanax, Oxy, like literally.
Were you going to
backpack.
Walmart?
I was selling drugs.
I would hope so.
And I stole money from it. It just didn't make sense. I was a dumbass. But so I got caught. I got 10 felonies. Went through this whole entire thing. My parents were awesome. Those 10 felonies got dropped to 3, 1, and got off my record. But the point for the $100 is when I was in court, I had to go see the judge. I got my sentence, all this shit, and I had to go into this other room. And we're sitting down and waiting to talk to the sheriff. And I look down, and there's a $100 bill. And I'm like, what the fuck? Wait, what? And so I'm like, and I put my foot over it, and you're going in your head like, all right, should I pocket? Is this a test? Like, are they testing me right now? That's like what I was thinking, right? Obviously not. But, and so I was like, fuck it. I picked it up, and I handed I was like, I just saw this on the ground. It's not mine. Here it is. And my dad looked at me, he was like, are you fucking kidding me? Like in his head, right? And he asked them, he goes, if no one claims it, can my son get it? And they said, yes, after 28 days.
Right.
And so like every week I would call in, right? And on the 28th day, I go to pick it up, and my dad was just so like proud of me. Like he's like, you could steal from me, but not from anyone else. Like, I don't know what the fuck he was thinking, but when I got there to get the $100, like the freaking LA Times, the Daily News, like all these news stations were fucking there. They reported the story like,
oh my God,
kid gets in trouble, but then, does redemption story. Exactly. And I've got these pictures of me on the front page of the newspaper, little fucking, kid holding the $100 bill, smiling.
What a gorgeous story.
And it was $100. And so it's just kind of funny. I know it's like off on a tangent, but that's just kind of brought it back. And you know what that makes me think of is,
and by the way, go ahead.
I was really grateful to stay out of prison, and that's going to be the clip we're going to watch right now.
Oh, good segue.
Way to go.
Good segue.
Boom, motherfucker.
Damn. Plug that one in. Oh, this is such a bad trailer. Just kidding.
Enter another
There's
world.
Vigo.
We just hanging around this slaughterhouse waiting for our
Sir, the power's down all over the prison.
Where something is trapped in the dark.
Something grab hold of me.
Some things just won't stay buried.
It's something evil.
I summon the creature of darkness.
It's something inhuman.
What's happening in there?
And it's waiting for someone
Come forth and show yourself!
to open the door. Now the evil is loose, and there is no escape.
No way!
pleasant place to spend one's life is Miss Walker.
Prison.
Oh my God, I want to watch that.
It's a badass movie.
I didn't know until right now, but I miss the Mr. Movie phone voice.
Yes.
Like the
In a world.
That's what I was saying earlier.
and that
Yeah, I can't do that.
yeah, just slow motion.
There you go.
In the world. In the world.
That's beautiful.
Man, that's awesome. I wish that if there was a way that we could get not the rights to make like any money off of it, but if we get the rights to put that in the YouTube video, because
You can use that. It's my dad's company, I think.
will you find out? Because if
I don't
not,
care.
then,
Just do it. Just
well, no, it has nothing to do with that. YouTube will take it down. Not take it down, but they'll demonetize it.
No, it's my dad's. I think it's my dad's property.
Man.
Empire Pictures, but I'd have to go through legal. I'll probably get sued. Who cares?
Nah, who gives a shit? No, that's awesome though.
Oh, I would use the clip.
That's
if I were
awesome. Will you use Brave browser instead of Safari?
That's why it keeps going on. Got it. I'm like, why is there still that?
There we go.
It's a great new
Viggo
Halloween
Mortensen.
Oh yeah.
Man, that's awesome. So wait, you actually saw them do the scene where the cord like wraps around?
My dad actually wrote that scene. Actually, my dad was producing that, and he wrote that scene. It was really cool. Yeah.
I want to know how they did that.
It was all, it's funny how you ask. It's funny you notice that because what they literally, because again, they didn't have CGI money.
No,
There
no.
was it was, VHS time. And
Yes.
they had to use a cord. So they did backward whatever. So they took the wire or whatever, and they had to literally like kind of stop motion it. And then they kept pushing it forward, by hand. And it was just very kind of raw. I mean, but the way they did that falling through the thing, that was a messy situation. They had gallons and gallons of fake blood, and they couldn't get it through to the ceiling at first. And
Oh no.
yeah, it was an intense thing. Yeah, and again, we're in the middle of Wyoming, so it's not like that we're we're in the middle of Burbank where we can go down to get extra stuff. I mean, they had to make everything and all their effects on the fly. We had to kill 2 or 3 people. There's some,
I get that. I would have thought like 5 or 6,
It's
but
a dark
No,
place.
but that's crazy thing because now the CGI is getting really good. Have you guys seen Lion King, the new one? It's fucking nuts.
It's almost it's difficult to watch in the sense that your brain can't comprehend. Like that's not real grass. That's not.
Yeah, I know.
What is going on?
It's
hard.
It's because there are times where you're like, okay, that's CGI, but then like most of the time, it's like, what the fuck? I mean, eventually they're not even gonna need actors. They're just gonna have voiceovers. Like,
Well, especially with the video games too.
Oh,
That's
my
They're
God.
spending more money on the video game,
yeah,
and there's
well, 'cause
more money
that's
to be
more
made.
money to be made. And then you talk about VR and AR. I mean, where this is all going.
Again, but you got to be with me. I mean, I'm older than you, but I'm waiting for like the full VR sex game thing that where you get fully immersed in.
Yeah,
Am I wrong to say that?
No, not at all. So I have the Oculus Quest.
The Succulus Quest.
It is. I mean, there is some fucking porn out there. You put the head on, and it's like as from if you were the guy. So you look down, it's like your schlong is his schlong, like all this shit.
It has to be gay porn, though?
No, it. No,
Is there
it's
hetero?
POV? It's POV. So then you got these 2 girls, and like
Because that opens the whole marketplace if you add
dude,
the other stuff.
like straight up, like you look down, it's like it's 2 women, and
Now you're talking.
It's fucking
Is
nuts.
it good? Does it look real?
It's fuck yes, it looks real. I mean,
Daniel, Hanukkah present.
dude,
You want to try it on right
it's
Not right now. No.
You don't want that on
That's like a
video?
used condom. I
no,
can't,
no. It's just a headset.
Oh, okay. Whatever.
Yeah.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
No, it's a used condom. You only use them 2 or 3 times, and you share them with your buddies.
Well, that's what I do. I only use the condom 2 or 3 times.
Yes, yeah. They're used from your buddy already.
That's why I have 2 kids.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
I have to go to sleep. Daniel, I'm out of my juice.
Dude, this drink is fucking bomb.
This is the official Halloween drink.
No.
It is. It's
Bro,
It's the Halloween.
it
Back
is-
to you're yelling.
I know. I know.
But he's right.
I'm going to shut up.
But he's right. But he's right.
But I'm right. No,
Back to your story. Signature cocktail. Coming to a store near you. Just contact us.
Yes.
Get on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
We could make
show
it like
you
a
how to make
Halloween-
it.
Yes.
I have a good idea. Like a Halloween energy drink.
Yeah.
Dude.
Well, that's called a little bit of candy corn and cocaine.
Yeah, that's like there you go.
Candy corn and cocaine.
Dude, that's badass.
Oh, way to go.
CNC.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, all right. So
Actually, CCC, triple C.
all right, so we're gonna dial it back. Let's bring it back to your earlier
Yeah,
story.
I'm sorry.
Right?
That
No,
was
no, 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 no,
way
no.
off on tangent.
I love it. Okay, so you're 9 years old.
Yeah.
Halloween. When did you decide to go to NYU? Did you already know that you wanted to act?
Yes, sir. Yeah. No, when I when I was 7, I knew I wanted to act, and I took it very seriously. But then again, like everything, when I got into my, teenage years and then, in early 20s, you get more distracted. But yeah, back then I was really focused. And then when I was at Beverly High, I was really involved in the drama department and did all the plays there. That's when, it was, what's his name? Who was there? Well, Jonathan Silverman was there at the time. Nick Cage was there before me. David Schwimmer was there actually the year before me.
Holy shit.
David Schwimmer was actually, it's amazing. I saw David Schwimmer do an amazing scene in at the Little Theater with John Engel, the guy who was...
What was it?
I don't even remember what it was. I think it was actually, it might have been like Jesus Christ Superstar, but it was just it was just something really intense by himself, and he was an amazing talent, even back before his nose job. So yeah.
Wait, he got a nose job?
Yeah, of course he did. Yeah, a long time. Anyway.
Oh man, now I don't like him.
Yeah, I know, but I'm getting over it though.
Joking. No, I didn't know him. 2, I don't fucking care.
He's a great guy.
3, yeah. I mean, Friends is. There's just something about it, man. I mean, it was the number one. It is, I believe. Can you look this up? Is Friends the number one most watched TV show of all time? I mean, literally on a weekly basis, they would have 50 million people watching it. Back then, there was no Netflix and Hulu and all that shit. Right?
That's right.
So it's a different time. But the stronghold that Friends had is just utterly insane.
Oh, absolutely. Amazing.
But a good actor. That's awesome. But so you, as a kid though, you wanted to act. Did that have anything to do with your dad?
No. I remember when I went to sleepaway camp, Riverway sleepaway camp, and I would do the plays there. I produced my own plays. Maybe it was just it was an offshoot from where my environment and where I came from. But that was my most comfortable place.
Yeah.
Everybody, some people feel comfortable in the ocean or whatever. That was just for me the place that I felt comfortable. Yeah. And but it was, and then NYU was a really interesting, amazing experience. Living in New York, that was just an amazing experience.
Beautiful time. Was it your first time away on your own?
For that extended period of time, yeah. I mean, it was an amazing time to be there in '86, and it was just a wild time.
What was it like? I mean, what were some of the things that you did? What was kind of paint the picture of the experience of the '80s, because it was a different time in New York compared to, even a year ago.
Oh God! Well, yeah. I mean, first of all, the Mets won the World Series in '86, I think it was. So I mean, there was just an energy in the entire city that was unbelievable. Like I said before, David Mamet was doing plays, and where I was going to learn drama or to just take classes, it was just again, William H. Macy was there. Some just wonderful, wonderful actors, and it was a great time. And the only regret I have is that I was too immature to even appreciate how much I had access to at that point. I mean, literally, because I had a taste of Hollywood and I had a taste of the fact that, oh my God, I could be in a trailer and I could do this, and then I did a movie, then I did another movie called Prison with Tommy Lee Jones and Sean and.
Wasn't that the movie? No, that wasn't the movie that we just.
No,
another movie, Prison. You did 2 movies called Prison.
No, not Prison. Oh, Flight of the. What was it?
You did say Prison.
Can I have another drink, please?
Yes, yeah. Hold on, before he answers that question, what was
it's called Firebirds, by the way.
So Friends was the most watched show in 2001, 2002.
Okay.
However, Seinfeld is up there, and so is MASH.
That makes
By
sense.
the way, Farewell. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? That's okay. It's probably an older movie or TV show because there was barely anything out there.
That's good point.
But I got to tell you, in looking at the years, Friends' farewell season made the list. Survivor beat Friends by like 4 million viewers, 5 million viewers. The year prior.
Oh my
God!
God.
So believe it or not, though the residuals right now are probably like as good as I Love Lucy.
Yeah.
But it's
you gotta
as top of the market.
Yeah, Friends they were smart though. They fucking teamed up, and instead of David Schwimmer and Jennifer Aniston getting a raise, they're like, no, fuck that. And I think they had like 2% of revenue.
They were a team.
They set a record. It was
smart
the first
young people
where every single person made $1 million an episode by the last season.
Yeah,
every episode.
But they were so friggin' unified. Can you imagine what they tried to do to cajole one against the other?
Yeah,
like that they tried to Jennifer Aniston, we're going to give you an extra $10 million. I don't care.
Yeah.
And just fuck them. Too bad.
So smart though.
And everyone had like a blood pact. Like what?
Yeah.
No.
And they're still friends to this day.
And
you see on the Instagram all the time. Lisa Kudrow, Jennifer Aniston, and
but you know what though?
Courtney Cox.
It just shows you. They had enough money. They just wanted to do it as a looking out for as a team because the kind of dissension that would happen if someone's Courtney Cox is getting $2 million less or something.
No, absolutely. Yeah. What's crazy? Fun fact though is Gunther he over his time, in today's money, it would be $4 million. He started out, I'm gonna like that 1 second, like $5,000 or whatever an episode, and by the end he was making $40,000 an episode. Wow, that's nuts, right? That's fucking nuts. Okay,
sorry.
No. So let's bring it back to your story, right? NYU, but then you were talking about a movie that you did with Tommy Lee Jones.
Yeah.
Flight of the Conchord?
Flight of the Conchords.
Is that what it's called?
No, it was called Firebirds.
Firebirds.
At first it was I made him slip because I've had a few drinks, but also because it was originally be called Flight of the Apache or something like that. They were Apache helicopters. It was a Disney film, and I met some really good friends on that film. One of which she actually passed away this year because it's 2020, and she just died of cancer recently. Bettina Gillois. She was an amazing writer, producer, good. Amazing friend of mine. But I met her on that. I became friends with Sean Young at that time, too. We went to her wedding in Sedona, Arizona, under the stars and the Native American spirits. But it was a magical time. It was a cool time. It was a really, really cool time. I met my wife at that time. But
when you were in New York?
No. This was much later. Yeah. But when after I left NYU, I was doing theater. I was doing... I was trying to do film work, but again, the problem was I was not that focused, and I was really just having too much fun. And then by the time I met my future wife-to-be, I sort of gave that up, and that's when we went up to San Ynez. We lived there for a while, and opened a coffee shop. Thanks a latte.
Hold on, we're gonna get there. Hold on. I want to get to all that. But let's bring it back real quick.
We didn't talk about the circus yet, too. I joined the circus too.
Wait, how old were you at this point?
I don't know.
The circus.
11 and a half or something.
Okay, so we're going to bring it way back because I want to hear real quick about the circus.
Can we just touch... I pulled you up on IMDb. Can we just touch upon the one time you were a producer for Real Spring Break Uncensored?
Oh, wait.
Oh, I forgot.
What the fuck?
I forgot all about that shit.
Wait, say that again into the microphone. What was it?
I've had a storied life. I forgot about all this shit.
I just want to take a second to mention a producer credit for Mickey Yablans.
I deserve more than the producer credit, yeah.
For the Real Spring Break Uncensored in 2004.
I got to send you some photographs, too, because I also have some pictures. Because when I was promoting this, when we were doing Hustler Holidays with Larry Flint.
No fucking way.
I met Larry Flint in the building, and we had that's a whole other story. But anyway, on this one, listen to me. On this one, I just appealed to my dad's lasciviousness and his perversions. And he owned a big boat at the time. He owned like a 68-foot Tollycraft. So we were trying to do like a promo video for the thing, and for this stupid video that whatever. It was a holiday video. And
the Real Spring Break one?
No, not that one. It was an offshoot. It's a long story. I'm not even going to go down that because that's a 5-hour podcast on its own. But anyway. But we used his boat. We asked some of the girls to come on the boat, and then they got in their bikinis, and we did like a whipped cream party and the whole thing.
Oh my god!
And my dad had no problem with it. He produced that segment.
Of course, he did not have a problem.
I got in the dinghy and I did some like B-roll shots across. It was fantastic. It was amazing. It was an amazing time. I have pictures. It's fantastic.
Oh my God, that is awesome.
Yeah.
That is fun. You have lived a fantastic life, my friend.
Almost. I'm not done with it, but so far it's not that bad. It's gone ups and downs, like everyone's. That's the way it goes.
Yeah, but you have a very unique life.
I try to be around unique people.
Yeah,
boring people bore me.
I like unique and weird people.
Interestingly, but that's the thing. As we get older, though, and you're getting a little bit, but I'm a lot older.
What are you trying to say, man?
I'm trying to say that you get the benefit, but at the same time, you lose the patience for people don't really have a lot of intelligence.
Oh well, that's a fact. I like to be traditionally. I like to be in a room with people that are smarter than myself.
Thank you.
I
that's why I'm always alone.
It's just so difficult to find.
I know. Yeah, it is.
That's a conundrum.
It is. It's a fucking clusterfuck.
That's why I go to.
Okay, hold on. We can talk about dumb people later. Right? Adonai. All right, but no.
Papa,
circus.
can you hear me?
Circus. 11 and a half years old.
Oh, I was kidding about that. I'm not going to go down that road.
You know what?
Everything else I've said is true except the circus part.
Okay, here we go.
Sorry.
Okay. Well, you know what? I don't really like
sorry.
your story anymore.
I know.
I wanted to live your life. Now I don't.
I'm join the club. No shit.
Holy shit. Okay. All right.
But I did do Thanks a Latte and I did all that stuff.
Okay. So what is that all about? Because I all the fucking time say thanks a latte. I don't even know why I say it. I have no idea.
So once my Hollywood career was like going, I met my future wife to be on a blind date. My parents set me up with a French girl, and we met just for coffee, and coffee turned to whatever, and now this is like 29 years later.
Wow,
so it's
nice.
Great. But yeah, muzzle. And but anyway, so I started to settle down, and then I was going through a whole different thing, and my parents had a ranch in San Ynez, and my father was very generous, and we opened a business together called Thanks a Latte, and it was a coffee shop, and I got to play piano at there, because I play piano, so I got to do like the whole cabaret thing and serve coffees and things like that. And there was a lot of weird LA Hollywood transplants that lived there for a while. Like I'll never forget, like when we had opening night, this was a bad situation, and I knew it was a bad omen, the whole thing, but we were supposed to have dinner with somebody that night, and my wife and I were working the counter. It was busy. We're doing this, and I realized, that the dinner was with Cheryl Ladd and her husband. And then so they called the coffee shop and asked where we were because we got busy, and she started to, the husband started to yell at me, and Cheryl Ladd was yelling at me. So
what the fuck?
It's you don't want to get into a fight with Cheryl Ladd. It's bad.
What was this even about?
We were supposed to be apparently at her house for dinner, and so they were very mad at me because we didn't show up on time and we were late, and so they were screaming at me. I didn't even know about it, so I had a neck problem for about 3 weeks after that. I couldn't move my neck.
Did they put you in a chokehold?
No, they just put me in an anxiety hold for 3 weeks. It was. Did
you ever talk to them after that?
No, they're horrible people.
All right.
No.
All right. Shout out.
Oh,
to
Derek
people.
lived there too. Oh yeah, no, it was. I mean, dude. I mean, that was a freak show out there. You want about the circus? That was out there. San Diego was fun, but it was very, 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 very removed and kind of.
So what was the end result though? What happened?
Oh, I got the hell out of there, and then I was part of a multimedia company called Immersia for about 2 or 3 years. I went to London. We did something in Dusseldorf, and we were doing this 3D immersive stuff with licensing Titanic.
Well, so. Wait, it was just licensing Titanic?
No, it was licensing Titanic, Star Trek. I got to meet George Takei. I got to work with him, and it was just a weird thing because we would make these interactive things and we licensed them, and it was interesting. It was fun for a few years, but then it just didn't work out because the funding didn't pan out. So I had again changed careers again, and then working this way and working that way. But that was the last. That was the last time I got really involved in anything with Hollywood kind of a thing.
So, I mean, I think this happens with a lot of people. It's like eventually people get a bad taste of Hollywood.
Oh, I had 2 or 3. Yeah,
you get it's like turn and burn, right? For you growing up, you wanted to be an actor, correct?
Yeah.
At what age did you stop?
When I got married, I basically 27.
27.
I would say 27.
27.
But again, I mean, listen, looking back, I had support. I was I was not mature enough to do. Listen, I mean, you look at there's a whole romanticism about acting and about Hollywood and this and that, but the truth of the matter is, I didn't want to picture myself. The test is, can you be a 40, 50-year-old actor out of work and still be okay and be happy? And I started to get to the point where I thought to myself, I don't know if I want to be that person.
Yeah.
And so then you just let it torment you for the rest of your life, and you just live with But the good thing is, I play piano. I have a studio at my house. I play music at my house. I produce music.
Yeah.
I have other outlets.
You're an artist. You draw.
Yeah, I draw.
But you had the experience.
I grew
man, I totally understand what you're saying. Being a 40, 50-year-old actor, there's such a select few of them that actually can make it, long term. But looking back at your life. Even though like 27 is around the time it all stopped, it's still amazing. It's still beautiful to be able to say that you've been able to do these things and have these experiences.
Absolutely.
Looking at it from the other way. But I do understand that it is something in Hollywood that really puts this negative, bad taste in people's mouth. What do you think it is?
Oh, well, especially if you grow up in the beginning. When you grow up, when we started, we talked about the way I grew up, and you get such a warped idea of what normal is and what's expected is. And, I had friends that were getting series, and this guy was getting a movie career, and that guy did a movie. And then, everybody has a different story the way it ends up, and most of them don't end up great, but some of them do, and that's great. That's wonderful. But I had to test myself and go, I'm a relatively, sensitive guy, and I didn't know if I wanted to go through that kind of long-term pain for my art, I guess you'd say. And the problem is, I grew up in a wealthy, well-to-do situation where, I got used to a very good way of, and again, when I was living by myself, it was pretty sparse, but I just didn't, I didn't see myself that way. And again, we all have regrets, but I think it was the right thing to do at the time.
Yeah, you just said something kind of big, though. We all have regrets. Is there a regret for you that you didn't continue?
There's a regret that I didn't stay. That's the other thing. And then there was a regret that I didn't stay at NYU longer too, especially because my roommate down the hall that I was friends with, that would have been a really good friend to stay friends with, was Adam Sandler. He was on the same floor as me. So
wait, what?
So I was on the 11th floor at Brittany Hall at NYU.
Okay.
And this is on 8th and Broadway. And it's still there. I just visited it. It's beautiful still. But anyway, so I'm on the 11th floor. This was my sophomore year, and he's on the 11th floor at the end of the hall, and he's got his little group of, friends already, and they're writing songs, and they're doing Hanukkah songs and shit, and they're playing with their guitars and stuff. And I hooked back up. I mean, I ran into him again at the Improv years later when he was doing stand-up there. But seriously, I mean, there was so many amazing people at your fingertips, and my parents were, so nice enough to be able to fund the whole thing, so I could have stayed there for 4 years. And my ego was like, hey, I've done all these plays, I've done all this stuff, I did this thing, I did that thing, I know what, I don't need a bachelor's degree in acting to validate that I can act. So, you start to get an attitude and an ego, and then after a while, that kind of gets you distracted, and that's the point. But at least that's the regret I have the most. Yeah. Like, I don't regret my wife. I don't regret the life I have.
I get that.
I regret some of the things I say all the time. But but definitely that experience, especially as you get older, you like to learn more. You want to be more interesting. You want
fuck yeah.
And so, but college, higher learning is wasted on the young because it's just
fucking,
you get too many hormones going
terrible.
on. I just wanted sex all the time.
I just want to fuck all the time.
I literally, I mean, again, the dumbest things I've ever done were obviously because, that's every guy.
Dude, we think with our dick for so much of our
life. That's the
life.
beauty of getting older is that your testosterone goes bye-bye, and you can just go, once a year is fine.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
I thought it was like once every other year.
I'm
just joking. It's once a decade.
I'm still a perv. I
am a fucking perv too, man. I don't know if that ever stops. But you're right. But it is the ego that gets everyone.
But you know what's cool? You said the right thing. I did have that magical time. I got to do all that, and now they have these horror conventions and things like that. I was in a small little part in Nightmare on Elm Street 3 or something like that on 4. And so I get to go to these little conventions, and it's fun because you get to meet all these people. And I went to one in Jersey a few years ago, obviously before COVID, and you have these people that become your best friends for the weekend, and what kind of and it's just unbelievable. They come from Germany, they come from Sweden, they come from Iceland because of these silly little films that obviously are not silly. They actually make a mark on people.
They do,
and that's what makes them special. And even the dumbest ones sometimes make a mark. It doesn't matter what makes a mark,
No, not at all. Art is perceived by the individual. It's an individual's experience, and whatever it is, right? It could be silly, it could be stupid to some, and amazing to others, and but it is still beautiful that you can go to these events, and it's kind of like a rekindling of the past, and then experiencing these things because people come from all over the globe, and it just kind of reignites this thing. I don't know, man. I totally understand what you're saying. Although I'm not in your shoes, I can fully see how important that is.
I see what people bring their little kids dressed in Michael Myers with a knife. I mean, you're talking about a kid that just learned how to walk maybe about 6 minutes ago.
Yeah.
But they have him in a full gear with a knife, and there's something disturbingly wonderful about it.
It is disturbingly wonderful. I love that.
Because they're doing it out of love, and they're sharing it as a family, and everybody, it's really cool. It's just really, really, really cool. So and again, it gives a lot of, actors. I have a different kind of life outside of this, and we all do, I guess. But some actors who live, and that's what's sad about the COVID situation right now. A lot of these people had a full annual way of doing this and making some extra money and having their ego stroked. And, I remember last time I saw, Adrienne Barbeau, who I used to watch in all those movies, she was carrying her little cart up the thing, getting ready to do her signing. Seriously, Escape from New York and all that. I mean, Adrienne Barbeau, give me a break. Swamp Thing. So, you just, and you go to these booths and one guy who might be nobody to you is somebody's idol that they come across the ocean for. So it's just cool.
It is. It's so fucking cool. But you're absolutely correct. Is COVID really threw a wrench in all of this? For you going through COVID, I know you joked at the beginning that you're like enjoying the COVID lifestyle, and maybe you do, right? Or maybe you don't. But it has affected so many people. And
excuse me.
You okay?
No.
Okay, good. Perfect. Let's
Good
move on. He's got COVID.
It was kind of terrific timing, wasn't it?
All right. We got to cut this short. And as we start to wrap this up.
No, please, go ahead.
No.
You were making a really good point. I did interrupt you. Go.
No. It's fine. It really... The more the more that I think about it and start to think about different industries, it's fucked things up.
Yeah.
Do you see a return of any of this anytime soon? Like these events. Like for me, my business, right? We sell high-end professional hairstyling tools, right? It's called a company called Ergo Styling Tools, and we do 4 or 5 major trade shows a year. We have big fucking booths. We do really well, and it allows us to expand the brand and get into new people's eyes and hands and hearts. That being said, we're not the only ones that do trade shows and events that people do well, and I can only imagine for your type of events or this or that or whatever. Like people are hurting. But I don't see a return of it anytime soon, at least for my industry.
No, you're exactly right. And there'll only be a core group of all these, vendors and people that can afford to, anybody. And, if you live in LA, who's got that much savings unless you, happen to be a very wealthy person? So,
Absolutely.
You're talking about people who are on the edge to begin with, and those people, and then the servers and all those people. Unfortunately, it's going to just force, and it has forced people to have alternatives to the way they used to do things.
Yeah.
I mean, what are you doing in your? You guys must have a lot of virtual stuff that you're trying to do to compensate for that.
We're fortunately for us, and this is not to be braggadocious or whatsoever, we were already evolving our business model. I was building out our online store because before COVID at the beginning of this year, for the past decade or so, the way that salons and people would purchase, they'd have to call in. But I had been working on building out our e-commerce platform. We were going to launch in May. We launched in April, and it's really transformed our business. And we've been doing really well. But I know that's not the case for a lot of people.
Yeah.
And so it does even hurt to say, and not because I'm like hurting for myself, but I just want everyone to do well. I feel really fucking bad. Like my wife, she's a union makeup artist. And for this whole year, it's just been fucking shit. I mean, they're not doing anything. Literally right before this, it was the first time in 6-7 months, she's doing a union job, and it's hopefully going to be for, a full week. And it's a Netflix TV show, but I mean, she was killing it. She was doing amazing, my fucking God. And then it just crashed. Mm-hmm. And mentally, I know it's fucking killed her. And fortunately, my business has been doing well. So like financially, we're fine. But fuck, if the roles were reversed, because I know how I am and how I'm bipolar and I'm fucking stress case and like just all my mental shit, I would have went down a fucking terrible
dark
rabbit
place.
hole, very, very dark place.
Oh yeah, I mean, if I didn't, without going into details, same thing. If I weren't able to not have to at least, know that I'm okay to pay my bills and stuff like that, if that was on top of everything else and the medical fears and the political fears and the shit, I mean, I'm not
dude.
Listen, I mean, it doesn't matter to me because again, we only have 3 more weeks, and if things go the wrong way in 3 weeks, I know everyone's out the door, but even they're talking about all that shit.
Dude,
but I luckily my wife's French, so I can get dual citizenship, and
you're gone.
I'm in baguette land,
dude. It's really for me,
I'm zooming from across the Seine.
I was a Democrat for many years, like my whole life. Right, the first time I ever got to vote was for Obama, and I campaigned for him, and like I did, it was just fucking amazing, right? It was so inspiring, and then flash forward all this time, I'm not happy with Democrat. I'm not happy with the Republican Party. I believe Democrats could have picked a better choice, but maybe not actually, because it seems like Joe Biden is probably going to win. The thing that I ask a lot of people, that are very strong Trumpers, if you will, Republicans, right? Are we better off than we were 4 years ago? And the answer is absolutely not. And some people talk about, well, it's COVID or this or the riots, protests, whatever the fuck they want to say. But everything happens from the top, right? I mean, in this situation, this is where it should be. And so even if you believe in his politics, and like, I don't disagree with everything that Trump has done in the past. I disagree with most, but there are some things that I'm like, okay, that makes fucking sense. But we are in a state of chaos and division right now. And you could blame it on this, that, or the other, but we need someone at the top to be fucking presidential. We don't need countries around the world who used to like be, even the citizens, they would look up to America. They would aspire to fucking come here, like everything, like LA, New York, like it was just a beacon of hope and opportunity. And that is not the case now. That is not the case. And, if you look back at history and look back at time, it's always just like there's been a lot of fucked up things, but then just the right decision was made and it saved this. I mean, look at the Cold War, look at World War II,
Bay of Pigs,
right? You look at all, and it was just like the right decision. And so I do believe that, my God, if Donald Trump wins, I am scared. If Biden wins, I am scared, but I am less scared.
That's
but I'm scared either way. But I do believe that a sense of normalcy will come back because, well, Biden and Kamala Harris, they're very presidential, if you will. Does that make sense? I don't even know.
No, it makes a lot of sense. I mean, I'm much more binary about the whole thing. The fact that we are having a discussion about re-electing the Apprentice for a second term, Donald Trump from The Apprentice. The fact that we're even having this conversation, to me, is a dystopian nightmare, and it scares the shit out of me. I'm older. I'm 52. I've got some perspective, but my dad, he's 86, and when he starts talking about, he served in the military, he was in the Army, and when he starts to, in the shadow after World War II in Brooklyn, and and he starts talking about, this is the sickest he's ever seen his country, and it's we justify the things that this psychopath says, and at the end of the day, he's a sociopath. He's a narcissistic sociopath, and yes, the fact that people talk about Biden, who gives a shit? Yeah, is he my first pick? No, he's probably like my 7th or 8th or 12th. But can I go to sleep at night knowing that he's president? Fuck yeah. I've never been scared with a president. Never. Even with George Bush. I didn't like Bush.
Yes, that's it.
But in retrospect, now he's my idol. I pay to have him in office.
Yes, so true.
But I'm just going to give this country's soul one last chance. And if we fuck up this vote, and listen, and the other thing is, that's only 30% of the way, because even if it's a landslide, he's going to say, you know what? Oh, that was too much of a landslide. We're going to have to check every state, every blue state, and we're going to do recounting. And you know what? And he's got the Supreme Court now going up with 6-3. And when that wonderful woman who happens to be a religious zealot, when she becomes the next Supreme Court justice, you are going to have a lock in on him being reelected if it goes to the Supreme Court. Just trust me. He said it out loud.
Here's the thing. Maybe, yes, I wouldn't I don't like her. I don't believe that the Supreme Court.
Know her well enough.
I don't believe the Supreme Court should sway too heavy in any direction. I don't believe that they should have life sentences, life terms. But I do believe that if it does go to the Supreme Court and clear facts point to Biden, it's just hard for me to conceptualize them going against something like that.
Can you imagine though if it does, and then the people have to just swallow that? I mean, it was hard enough with Gore, versus Clinton.
Yeah,
I mean, Gore versus Bush.
But that was
and that was a hanging Chad.
Yeah, that was Bush. And that was Jeb Bush, who was the governor of Florida at the time. Remember, right?
Yeah.
So, but it was just if Biden wins by a landslide, which I don't know if he'll win by a landslide, but I know there are a lot of conservative people out there that won't admit it, right? Because they've been Trump the entire time. They just want a sense of, they just can't fucking stand it. It's just too much.
Listen, forget the anomaly of last time, when with Hillary. If the polls are this wrong, with this election, I mean, we're talking double digits now. He's got a 12-point lead. Even the most, favorable average on Fox is like 9.5.
Yeah.
Okay. If he wins with those kind of polls, polls should be taken out of the mix. They should never be allowed to have another poll.
Here's the thing, and I agree with you. What happened last time, people go to the polls, and the polls were wrong, but in a sense, they were right. Trump only won just like this.
Tactically.
88,000 votes, and we could look that up, but it doesn't even matter. It was very, very, very small. And it was nothing we thought that could happen, but it did. Now, she did win by millions of votes, not like Gore, who won by 500,000 votes. But she still lost because of the electoral system. So this time around, though, I think that it's different, and everything's riding on it, right? If they get it fucking wrong this time, I mean, the polls will go out of business.
But the temperature is too hot right now too. I mean, especially now when you get those militias that are being arrested, with governors being almost killed and kidnapped, because they say the wrong thing to the great leader. It's a scary time, and when he's telling them to stand by and stand
back, stand by, right? Whatever the fuck that means.
Yeah, I'm not in the club, so I don't know the secret code. No, but you know what? It doesn't sound like welcome. Come on and have a seat.
Yeah, well, I mean, we see all of this. I mean, what's happening? With the Proud Boys, what's happening in Seattle and Portland. It doesn't matter what side, left, right. You move too far in any direction, it's not a good thing.
But it's a reflection of his.
It is. That's exactly
but
it.
But the chaos that he wants.
Was this shit happening under Obama? If Obama was president, right? I truly believe when
even Bush,
even Bush, when George Floyd was killed, they would have went to Minneapolis. They would have spoke with the governor. They would have spoke with the mayor. They would have spoke with the police. They would have spoke with the people. You know, they would have tried to get to the source. You know,
they're not insane.
No, when Sandy Hook happened, what did Obama? He went there. He fucking cried. You know, which is rightfully so. It's like, are you fucking kidding me?
Listen,
and so
I mean, George Bush, even at 9/11, you know, I mean. You got whatever you want to say. The guy put his heart and soul into that. He wasn't bullshitting that.
No.
He didn't pretend to care. He actually cared.
Yeah.
And you can't fake that.
No.
And just like he can't fake that he has some, because he doesn't.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't. And that's the scary point. That's the chaos. But you know, we'll
Sorry,
see.
that
We'll
was
see. No, it's fine. It's fine. All right. So we're gonna get off that subject and we're gonna bring it back, right? So all right, New York, NYU. When did you meet your wife? When did you meet her?
September of 93.
September of 93. How'd you guys meet?
Ilfrenial in Beverly Hills.
Okay.
And then we had coffee, and then coffee turned to a movie. We went to go see Sleepless in Seattle, and then
Tom Hanks, right? Or Meg Ryan?
Both.
Yeah.
Together.
Yep.
Most of the scenes, yeah. And then I went, and I knew time was wasted because she had to go back to France the next day, and she had a boyfriend she was staying with. So it was a lot of obstacles to address. So I had to pull out the music thing. So I brought her back to my parents' house, and they were out of town, thank God. And I played her music on the piano. Wow. And then we talked about Eastern politics in Russia and things like that, and then we just started to connect a little bit, and then I had to bring her back, and then she went back to France, and then after that there was no email at that time, we just wrote letters and everything. It was cool, and then
I love that. Do you guys still have them?
Yeah, I have them in my drawer. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's very cool. Like green ink, and it's so sweet. She's really cool. Listen, she's a much better person than me, so it makes my job easier to
exactly right.
So it's just. You want to be you want the other person to be the smarter person.
100%. I could not agree with you more. I am, my wife, for sure. She makes me a better person, and, to have an individual that truly sticks with you through thin and thin. My wife and I have been together for 17 years.
Amen.
We met in high school. We were best friends. I actually remember my dad, when I would get in trouble, like that time I got grounded for doing all that stupid shit. All my friends, I was grounded for like 2 months. The only person that could come over was my best friend. My best friend back then was my wife.
That's convenient.
Yeah. Well, I think my dad knew something that I didn't at that time because we were just friends.
But he always seemed to be looking at making sure that you were always happy, though, your father, though. From everything you said.
He put me through a lot of hell, but he fucking definitely did. He truly
Oh, I should have told you about the Billy Idol story. I forgot
Wait,
about
what the fuck? All right.
That was the weirdest story. This has got to be the final story.
No.
This got to be. Let me know when you're almost done, because this is the final story. That story was intense. That was a crazy story. I'll just tell you now. You want me to tell you now?
Yeah, of course. I was waiting for it.
Sorry, it was just a non sequitur. But again, Mike,
just ruin. I get it. Cut me off.
What were you going to say? That was so
it just
fucked up.
You are
damn.
so rude.
No, it is perfect. It is perfect. It is. Tell him a serious story. This one time about Billy Idol.
I will tell you,
Whoa,
Mickey, I've known you for years. You've just been drinking, and that's it. We don't hold it against you.
No, not at all.
This is a safe
fun.
space.
Did you press pause?
Oh no, we're going to
No. You're good. You're good, baby.
We'll let the people decide.
Yes.
Who gives a shit about what you're saying? Your father said what?
Excuse me? What? No, all right.
Oh, wait. Okay.
I remember this one.
Billy Idol.
Yeah.
My daddy. Billy Idol, anyway. He was in town. I'm sorry. Please go on, because I'm going to kill myself on the way home.
No, we're good.
No, please go. Now
I don't even remember what the fuck I was talking about. I want to hear about Billy Idol.
Your father.
Your dad. Alyssa was the only person.
Oh, yeah. Who gives a shit about my dad? Let's go.
No, you were grounded, and she was the only person.
She was the only person to come over. So I was just agreeing with you, right? So then, like all these years later, my wife has just put up with a lot of shit because we've been together for so long, and I was young, dumb, thought with my dick instead of my brain, and just all the shit, right? But I totally can relate to you when you find a person that just makes you a better you, holds you accountable for your shit, and you grow. And I think it's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yeah, well,
I don't give a shit about relationships. Talk about Billy.
No, I'm just saying. In response, I'm amazed that she's still with me. I mean, I have to put up with some of the stuff that I'm just a big drama queen. So
I thought you were gonna say I'm still amazed that she's still with you.
With you?
Yeah, my wife with me.
No. You're an easy sell. I'm a tough sell. Daniel. You know me. I'm not well.
Yeah, but that's what makes you you.
Yeah, well,
it makes you unique. It really does.
Yeah.
All right, but I want to hear about Billy Idol.
I'm sorry about what I did. I really apologize.
If I cared, I would tell you.
All right,
but I really don't give a shit.
So I don't even know why this came into my head. I don't know why your father's story had a big connection with Billy Idol.
It's okay. It's better than OJ, so let's go.
Yeah, Billy didn't kill it. As far as we know, I don't think he killed anybody.
As far as we know.
I don't think,
Nah. Let's go.
I don't even remember the story.
I will murder you myself.
What?
Is this about the manager?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try. I have a way of condense this.
No,
my father and I used to go. My father and I used to go to this restaurant in Westwood on Sunday nights. I mean, my family used to go there. It's old school Italian with the leather booths and friggin' all the old Rat Pack used to go there, kind of people, and Don Rickles and those. And it was just a very old Hollywood kind of a place. And my dad and I were there one night, and this guy comes over, and it happened to be Bill O'Coin. I shouldn't use his name. Well, who cares? Yeah. But he was the manager of Billy Idol at the time, and this was during the Rebel Yell whole tour and everything else. And he also happened to be the manager of Kiss back in the heyday. So this is my last one. I'm cut off after this.
My last one too.
So
delicious. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah, very delicious, by the way.
Really, really.
I mean,
good.
Let's just take a minute to say cheers.
Cheers.
Take a second to plug back to your story. Signature cocktail, cauldron cooler.
Coming
soon.
Coming soon online.
Coming soon.
There it is.
Cheers,
dude. Really, really good.
Oh my God. I'm starting to really love those now to the point where it's
Yeah, I really like this.
I like it.
Yeah, I really like it.
What was I saying?
You were talking about. You're talking about my dad,
Loretta Lynn. What? No. So Bill O'Coin comes by, and they were chatting. He's this real thin guy with a real weird kind of creepy
mustache.
Yeah, but like the pencil thin, like predator kind of like stalker ones.
Why does anyone even do that?
I'll get to that in a second. But so one thing leads to another. He finds out that that I'm interested in going to the thing, whatever. So he says, "Oh yeah, you know what? Billy's in town. We're gonna have the Rebel Yell thing. Come on down, get your tickets. You can come backstage." But I was 15 at the time, so I couldn't drive. So I had to get a friend of mine in the drama department who was 16, and she drove. We went. It was all the way down in like Irvine or something like that. It was a long way, and this was before cell phones, so you couldn't call and say, "I may be a couple minutes late." So we saw the show. It was amazing. It was just great show. And then after we go back, this is later already, and he says, come back to the hotel. I'm 50. I've got like an algebra test tomorrow. I'm 15. So, but we do, and so we go back. Go into the room, and it was like, it was like every, cliched thing you could ever think of from an 80s hairband thing. There was Coke on the table. There was, and then I swear to God, then the other room, Billy Idol was having sex with Apollonia. Remember Apollonia?
Yeah, are you serious?
Yeah, so it was an intense kind of weird vibe. And so I didn't stay there too long, but we were hanging out, and then it was getting really, really late. And then I said, I gotta go. I really have to go. I'm gonna be in trouble already, but I have to go. It was a long drive back. And then he goes, "Oh yeah, before you leave, come on, I just want to talk to you." So they had, I guess, the whole suite of floors. So we just go into the next room, and he locks the door. And I thought, that's odd. He's locking the door. And then he goes to the other part of the room, and he starts doing all this extra coke, and he wants me to do coke. And then he starts telling me about his first homosexual experience.
No way.
Yeah. And so, then So it was a disturbing moment, to say the least. Yeah. So no, I did not.
You didn't give him a blowjob?
Okay. No, I didn't.
Come on, man. It's fucking Billy Idol.
It was no, it wasn't Billy. It was his manager.
Oh, fuck that.
I would have blown Billy. Yeah.
Okay.
Billy,
Okay. I get it. But
I fucked Billy.
Yeah. I have fucking Mazel Tov, baby.
Oh. I still see him on the weekend, on the holidays. And stuff. No,
you guys are a throuple.
Oh, it's disturbing. No, but anywho.
Damn, but you were 15.
Yeah, somehow I got out of that room unscathed, mentally fucked up, but I unscathed. He didn't touch me or anything. Got out of there, and the weird part is that he still back. It was back in the day where there was again no cell phones, but he would call. I had a private line in my room. You know, we had my little.
Yep. I had one too.
I had a princess phone, a little red princess phone. Still remember the number too.
Didn't have that one.
No. It was wrong. But he would call me like at night and say, "Oh yeah, we're up at the Mondrian. You want to come up and meet me?" I'm like, "Please do not call me anymore."
And he still would call you.
Oh yeah, for a couple of weeks, and then it was over. But I can't. I've had a few stories like that where they just. Yeah, that was the first time that ever happened to me at 15. But ever since then, I had some. You talk about Hollywood. You know, it's funny you say that. I did a few. You know, all kidding aside, some of the movies I did, there were some boy toys that were basically just on either in the movie or working on either the set or actors that were just, boy toys basically for the producers.
Damn. Yeah. You hear a lot about like the shit that happens to women.
Exactly.
All the time,
But you're right.
But not so often.
Because there's no sympathy for that.
And that's not like, listen, this is not to take away from the Me Too movement. This is not to take away from the women that have been, I totally fucking get it. Trust me, I totally get it. But when the role is reversed, and I'm probably going to get shit for even saying this, but when the role is reversed, there's not so much sympathy, right? When it's, an older man trying to take advantage. Yes, I know like Kevin Spacey, and I really don't even know the fucking story, but it's still, it happens all the time. I mean, I was even watching that show that Ryan Murphy did called Hollywood.
Yeah.
And it just... it's run rampant in the industry for a long time, It's sad. It's sad when it happens to a girl. It's sad when it happens to a young girl and a young man. It shouldn't happen.
Well, again, you talk about the Me Too movement. I mean, that was just a little tiny snowflake of the entire snowball,
right?
Because the fact of the matter is, like you said, there's so many women that were young and naive, and they got completely, messed up and used up. But because the lure and the power, I mean, I've seen firsthand that people will do being on the set with stars and hanging out and walking around with them, and being in that world. And again, that was why it was so intoxicating. Why I would leave NYU and do this, because again, this is what I'm gonna. Why the fuck would I not do this all the time?
Yeah,
this is a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
So. Not thinking, okay, well, you have to put in a lot of years and pain and sweat, but that's another. But the point is, when you're walking around with those people, the allure. I mean, I've seen girls and guys, whatever, people just do the stupidest things, embarrass themselves seemingly, but again, not being any, worse for the wear. It's just an interesting draw, and you see it all the time.
It's very, very fucked up. Do you see things? I mean, I know you're not in the industry anywhere near as much as you were back then, but do you see a change? I mean, especially after the Me Too movement, especially everything that's going on, COVID,
I think women have a lot more power in the industry, and that's the way it should be. And I think it's only going to get better. And first of all, I just think women, despite of all the, horrible, little epithets and things. I mean, they make better decisions. They make,
Dude, I could not agree with you more.
I mean,
they make men better men.
Yeah. I mean, and first of all, they're not doing it out of that ego ball thing of like, my dick's bigger than your dick. And it's just like, this is the most pragmatic thing to do.
Absolutely.
Let's just do this.
It's so funny to talk about like the big dick thing, right? It's a proven fact that women care less about the size of a penis compared to men, thinking that women, think that a bigger dick is more enjoyable or less enjoyable. You know that? Does that make sense? So like a woman thinking about the size of a man's penis, the importance of it compared to a man thinking a woman thinks that.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I base my marriage on.
Right.
And
And
that
so-
whole concept.
So
That whole
that
thing.
being said, men think more with their dick. They think more,
We're visual. They're much more about bank accounts and things like that. Yeah.
I don't know about bank accounts.
I'm
but
just being
I
sarcastic.
don't know, man. I don't know. I'm just talking about
Again,
my situation.
I grew up in a very fucked up place.
I don't know. Whatever.
No.
That being said, you're absolutely correct. I mean, or
About
maybe
my
I'm
penis,
correct.
or
I don't even know what the fuck you're absolutely correct about.
Okay.
I don't even know. Let's just
Billy Idol. Back to Billy Idol again.
Okay, so when you had sex with him, what was it like?
Oh God, it was a white wedding. It was a rebel. No, it was. Oh, by the way, and then when I got back home at like 3 or 4 in the morning.
Yeah.
And looking, at the time I didn't agree with it, but my dad slapped me right across the face, and you know what? I understand that, because if I couldn't get a hold of mice, because I have an 18-year-old son.
Oh my God!
And if and I have cell phones, whatever. But if I could get a hold of him and I had to call, and I didn't want to call the cops, I'd be so fucking pissed,
Dude.
And that was back when you could totally slap your kid and it was fine.
Yeah. It was fine. Yeah, trust me.
I was born in '68. I mean, you could.
I was born in '86. My dad used to beat the shit out of me.
My dad threw forks at my sister.
Yeah, maybe she deserved it.
She
That
did.
being
She
said-
totally
Just
did.
joking.
You met my sister.
Yeah, that's one thing that we didn't talk about. Does she still
Stanley,
have a
you've
fork?
met my sister.
She still have forks?
She fucked what?
No.
Oh.
I said, does she still have a fork?
No. She got hit in the chest. She had she's good by now, I think.
Okay.
I think she was young, so it healed. It had a long time to heal.
Yeah, that definitely happens. How many siblings you got, man?
One.
All right.
Just the one.
She an actress?
No.
What's she do?
She's a teacher. She's a librarian. I'm very proud of her. She's got her degrees. She's worked a long time in the LA Unified School District. She's doing a great job, and now she's doing virtual teaching. She's doing a great job.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and her kids love her. She's won awards. I'm really, really proud of her. It's really good. She's pretty inspirational.
Shout out to your sister for sure.
Big props.
Yeah, the whole thought though of virtual learning, I think it's great for when you're like older and you want to learn something new.
Oh, this is
horrible. This is
horrible.
fucking terrible.
No, we're going to have a whole subgroup of subhumans for a long time.
Absolutely.
This generation is like the mole people.
No, I was talking with my younger brother who's 18 and his friends last night, and they were saying that how my generation was as far as like what they're thinking is the best generation to have been born in, because their generation sucks. For them, my brother, right, was a good student, was a varsity first string pitcher, fucking dominating, like just killing it, right? Everything was taken away. No graduation, no prom, no CIF championship, none of that shit, right? I didn't graduate from school, but like I could only imagine like my brother, who was a great ball player, good student, for the most part, if that was taken away from him, like it just, I don't know, like you put all this effort into something as a young kid and then it's just fucking taken away. It's
my son just graduated.
Terrible. Yeah, so you understand.
He has a chip on his shoulder, and he's sensitive like me, and he got very jaded about the whole thing. He get a lot of like, who gives a shit? Who cares? And I understand it, but he's much different now. He's everybody's getting adjusted. But again, prom, none. Graduation, we drove through.
That's exactly what we did with him too.
We had a pretend prom. Everything was like a facade kind of, coming of age thing, and it wasn't like they didn't get the full. They feel that they got gypped.
They did.
They got gypped, and they
totally
did get gypped.
They totally did.
And
it fucking sucks, man. It goes.
We're not gonna go back to politics, but yeah, we have to fix this, and it's a bad situation.
No, they do.
Yeah.
I mean, we do as a society. I mean, America is not doing the right things that we need to do. It's like,
and it's making each other yell at each other too a lot, which is a bad thing.
Yeah, and you have to watch The Social Dilemma, because then it shows you that how much social media, has just changed everything. I mean, especially with social media, think about Facebook and Instagram. You only see what you like, right? So, like, if we had the same Facebook account, like, same friends, literally the same
It
friends.
makes us feel good, yeah.
Yeah.
That's reaffirming.
The things that you look up, right? So, if it's puppy dogs or kittens, that is what you're going to see. If it is fucking Donald Trump or Biden, you're going to see Donald Trump or Biden stuff. If you're fucking looking up Proud Boy stuff or whatever, you're going to see that. Or what is it, QAnon.
Yeah. Well, that's been taken off of Facebook.
Yeah. Why? Yeah, absolutely. But it only shows you
reaffirms your own.
Exactly. But these echo chambers,
yeah.
it is not good for society because we need to be able to get both sides of the story. You need to be able to see this way and that way. And these big giants, these tech giants, are only pumping in because it's the advertisements, right? That's what it really comes down to, the money that they can make. But it creates a one-sided view in this generation that is not fucking good.
It's tribal. It's building tribes.
Exactly.
And the scariest part of the whole thing is, what do we have? What is the biggest commodity we have right now? It's time, free time.
Yep.
Because we're stuck around, and all we do, is look into the mirror basically on these phones and go, show me myself, reaffirm that my beliefs are great and that I'm right and that other guy's insane.
Absolutely.
I'm guilty of it as hell because I happen to be right, so it's easier for me. So, I don't have to worry. But for the people that are wrong.
Yeah, it's crazy. But the fucking funny thing is that they think
that would
they're
suck.
right. No, they think that they're right. And it's like, listen, whatever you think is what you think. Whatever I think is what I think. But
there are facts, though.
But there are facts, exactly. And if you have the facts pointed at your face,
but that's what Trump's done, though.
It.
But that's what Trump has done.
Yeah.
He's in my mind, and again, I don't want to keep being one-sided, but he's made it so that facts are bendable. They're not really facts. Come on.
Yeah. What did Kellyanne Conway say that one time about facts?
They're alternative facts.
Alternative.
Yeah, and that's why she's not there anymore.
Yeah, that's it's kind of crazy story because her husband.
I love her husband. I love her husband. He's my favorite Republican.
Was George Conway or whatever?
Yeah, the Lincoln Project.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Well, actually, their daughter is my favorite person because the daughter actually exposed. The daughter basically said, "I'm getting emancipated. You two fucking idiots, are constantly in the press on each other's ass." And meanwhile, I'm 15 years old. I'm paraphrasing because I don't know her at all.
Yeah.
But and all of a sudden, my life is in the middle. So she was going to get emancipated, and so Kellyanne Fuckway had to finally say, you know what? And good for her.
Good for her. No, seriously.
Good for her.
Yeah.
And they both did as a family and blah, blah, blah. And I'm happy that they did it. And I don't wish her any, she got COVID.
No.
I hope she's a strong woman. But it was just, that's a lot of karma right there. But the fact is that,
oh my God. Okay. All right. When I found out that Trump, listen, I would never.
And there's still people that are.
I would never want a president to get ill and die. I don't give a fuck, even if I don't like them. I would never want it because it's just not good. It's just no, I don't wish anyone dead. But that being said, when he did get COVID, it was just kind of the irony, right? If that's the right word, maybe it's not.
Comeuppance, yeah.
Yeah, comeuppance.
Listen, the truth is, it would almost be ridiculous that he didn't get it. I mean, he was literally spitting in danger in the face. It was just inevitable. I would, but the scariest part is, to this day, no one has answered from anyone close to Trump, when was his last negative test? And no one will, to the end of time, just like his taxes, that will remain in the box of mystery.
Of course.
And because the truth is too ugly, and that's why.
I hope he doesn't do another rally, He
is. He's doing one tomorrow.
He is?
Tomorrow. He's doing a whole slate.
I get it, man. I'm sorry.
This is the last time he's going to get his ego stroked this much.
This is not, come on. I know that with COVID, if you're young, the chances of anything really bad happening to you are slim to none, right? But hold on. For the older generation, yes, it's fucking bad. Over 200,000 people have died, and even if you say that the numbers are off, let's say it's off by 50 or 60,000 people, that is, in a short period of time, a lot of fucking people that did not need to die. So when you get COVID, right, you don't believe in the mask thing, and then you're going to do another rally we had a musician on yesterday, and she fucking said, it just doesn't make sense. And I'm paraphrasing, how politicians, can have these fucking big events, but musicians can't. And she wasn't saying that she wants to do it, right, but it just doesn't make sense.
She's exactly right.
And she is. And she's exactly right. Isn't that pretty much what right? Okay. Thank you, sir. It's
It's doubly difficult because we live in a federal society where every state has their own guidelines, and that makes our unification. This is exposing a real weakness in our greatness, which is, you know what? Yes, it's great to have individuality and but if we are truly going to be, they keep mentioning World War II and the biggest, manpower and the biggest, assemblage of resources since World War II. Well, the truth is, it's not like World War II because we were unified during World War II.
Yes.
And everybody was working for one goal, and we don't have that now. I mean, when you have people going into a Target screaming, take off your mask, take off your mask.
It's so fucking weird because it's like, think about the mask. Like, it just makes sense. Listen, it makes sense.
But there's no other country where that kind of bullshit goes on, though.
No, and you're absolutely right. I love the individuality of the states, right? I do. I love that.
Remember the Sturgis rally?
But, that
was fun.
Of course. But here's the thing, especially in situations like this, the information needs to come from the top, and just as simple as wearing a mask when you're in a public freaking place, walking. And here's the thing: in a grocery store, in a business, what does the sign say? It says no shoes, no shirt, no service. So if they want to fucking say, wear a fucking mask, wear a pink shirt to walk in the store, this is our right. That's their right. It's their fucking business. Now, if they said no gays allowed or no blacks allowed, that is a completely different story.
Funny enough, they would be fine with those signs, actually.
What? And some people would. I'm not going to say everyone, but some people would.
I like that sign.
No, but but here's the thing. It's like, fucking mask, come on.
I know.
And it's just like, if you're sick, you wear a mask. I don't get it. But
because listen, I'm brainwashed. Everyone's brainwashed to a certain degree. Like you said, I'm a big consumer of everything that I like, and everybody else is a consumer of what they like. I'm trying. I even try to stomach watching all different sides. I listen to Fox, and I try to get different points of view. And I have friends and colleagues that are on the other side of that fence. But this one is black and white to me. This is not like back in, all the different campaigns. This is good and evil, sociopath, insanity. This is, can I sleep at night or not? And look, would I have taken Biden 20 years ago a little bit better? Yeah, whatever. I mean, is he my favorite pick? No, I went through that already, but...
No, trust me. I fully get it. Well, you know what? Time is going to tell.
Yeah, it's not a great choice.
No, it's not. It's not. But we'll, this is going to be a time that history paints well. There's going to be a lot of fucking movies. It's just, it's definitely...
I just don't want people to get hurt and get killed and stuff.
No,
like
that, I don't ever. I want us to come together. I want unity.
But you feel that tension out there, don't you?
Of course, absolutely. But the crazy thing is, man, the more and more I have these podcasts, I talk about this all the time. I see that, most people will have their views on this. Most people have their views on that. But if you come down to it, a lot of us are in the fucking middle. And the media and social media, and especially the fucking media, I'm sorry, Fox and CNN, MSNBC, it just divides and it pumps what they want, right? And that's just these fucking echo chambers, right? And so it just creates this division where I swear to you, you put 100 people in the room that are from all different sides of this shit. If they start having a real and honest conversation, I'm like, oh yeah, I agree with that. Oh yeah, I agree. Oh, maybe I don't agree with that, but I agree with this. And most of us are good people. So I don't know, man. Time will definitely tell. I do not see, when people talk about a civil war, I'm sorry, I don't fucking ever see that happening in this generation, because too many people, they're not, I don't know, say if they're scared or bitches or whatever, it doesn't make sense to them to go out and fight. So I don't know. We're kind of in this little hiccup, but in the long term, I don't see this to be the end. And I do see that, whatever happens with this election, 10, 20, 30 years from now, it'll just be, another story. We made it out of World War II. We made it out of, World War I, the Civil War.
Well, you mentioned that before. You said before about how this is, first generation. They feel self-identified as people that, are really starting from a tough place, from a challenged place.
Man, I could not imagine. I just, 22 years old, fucking went to college, spent all this time, try to get a fucking job.
You can't even get a waiter job now.
No, man, it's really, really sad. So,
and again, yeah, it's beyond this or that.
Not to go on a rant, but what's the difference between that and in 2011 when the economy was so tanked? Yeah, we weren't wearing masks, but you were going spending $100,000 on this education and coming out and waiting tables because that was the only job you could get. What was the difference?
No, you're absolutely correct, because we made it out of it, right? And it sucks that something this bad happened so quickly, but we will make it out of this. Listen, man, even if Donald Trump wins, I fucking hope he doesn't, but if he does, we will make it out of that. We will, because there's just this amazing thing about Americans that, fuck, man, we will continue to fight. And when shit hits the fan, because there was when COVID did hit, like in the beginning, and everyone's forgetting, there was this sense of kind of unity that I felt, something very similar to like after 9/11. And so although that has faded for sure, we're just here and we will come back. That's what I hope. But that was a really, really good point.
But it basically comes down to when we're at our best, when things are at their worst, and we come.
It's true.
No, but it's true. I mean, we really have a good at our heart. Yeah, I think. But I mean, again, this time has exposed a lot of stuff that. Anyway, it doesn't matter.
No. I get. Have you always been political?
Yeah. Oh, that's the only thing I watch is
But what about when you were a kid?
No, not as much. That's true. I didn't get two shits about politics as much back then.
Family? Did your dad, mom?
No, but they were always, we were always Democrats. We were always, in fact, my middle name was after Robert Kennedy, who got shot right before I was born. And so, they were liberal socially, pay a lot in fucking taxes. And, it's not good. And everybody talks about leaving California. I mean, as I get older, my views change a little bit. I mean, some of the taxation things that's a whole other thing, because our federal taxes are spent, I think, proportionally, insane direction.
Yes.
But that's a whole,
that's a whole
industrial complex kind of a thing.
Of course.
But no, it's politically now. I don't know when I started. I think it was when, I think it might have been triggered after the Bush Gore hanging Chad situation. I mean, now that
it's always something.
It's
right?
funny. I've never thought about it. Thank you for asking that.
Yeah.
I never thought about. It's because I'm obsessed now. I mean, the first thing I do in the morning, the first thing I do whenever I get my phone, that's all I look at is, but I'm obsessed about it now. But yeah, I think it was when that injustice of that election happened, and in my mind, it was, again, a lot of people loved it, but I was freaking pissed, and I was like. And then I thought, I got to live with this shit now for 4 years, which turned out to be 8 years. No. And I really resented not just the man Bush, but what he represented, which was a total, the Attorney General of Florida. And I mean,
it's crazy. Dick Cheney was really pulling the strings,
give me a break. And so, but I think ever since then, because now that's all I care. Yeah, I give a shit about it. I care a lot about that stuff.
Yeah, but it's kind of crazy because we can look back at like one time that really just ignited it for me. It was when Obama, was. Was for me.
I cried that night.
I did too. I did too.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Fuck, dude.
Like, I literally, and I didn't cry like Misty, guys. I cried like a girl, like a little 5-year-old girl who somebody ripped their doll away from them.
Yeah.
And but I was so happy. I was so freaking happy. I remember we had some friends over and we were just staring at the TV But yes, that's a much better way to get into politics.
No, I mean, it was phenomenal. And I was living in Florida at the time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a very magical time. Because it was hope, right? It was like the first time a black dude was becoming president that came from fucking nothing, a single mom, to rise up out of this, what he went through, and to be the man that he was. And I was freaking crying my eyes out, just so happy. And I was only like 20 years old. And it was the first time I ever was able to vote, because when I was 18, the election had happened like the year prior. And so I was 17. And that's when George Bush won the second time. And then Obama came. But, it was a different type of politics back then, because you looked at McCain, right, who was running against him. And I forget what the question was, but a lady in town hall was like, brought up. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
But that was, and that's what the Republicans are.
They're missing that, right? And
he was such a mensch when he did that.
Yeah. Oh my God! And remember when McCain walked in with Obamacare, and he was like fucking dying.
Oh,
too,
what he did the thumbs down. I remember that too. I was watching C-SPAN. I was screaming when that happened.
I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" A man that literally was running for president of the United States and lost to him, but he knew it was right.
And Trump never forgot that moment.
No.
And when Trump saw that, and that's why he'll never take back any of the words, because he doesn't. And that's what's so full circle sick about the man. He's not mature enough, self-aware enough, self-critical enough to say, you know what, there's more to that story.
Of course.
There were parts when I was young, I hated my dad. I hated his guts. Yeah. And I always told myself, when you get older, remember this, because, it's not a fantasy. You really are angry, and he's done horrible things. And don't let, the distance of age make you feel less, hurt.
I get that.
But when you get older, if you have any maturity, you say, wait a minute, that pain was real and it was justified the way you felt. But I understand where he was coming from. Yes. And what I would have done. And I would have done the same thing. And so there's multi-layers. You just don't see the other perspectives until you have that distance.
Yes, of course. Yeah, well, Trump lacks empathy, my friend. He's not.
A lot of things.
But he's not then. And I think that's so important, for human beings, is to be empathetic of the other side, and it's not always about being right. Like, we don't always need to be right. In fact, it rarely is. No, like and when you're wrong, you admit your mistakes and you admit you're wrong. Like Joe Rogan recently was really powerful. He, on one of his podcasts, he was talking about the fires in out here in California. I was like out somewhere. And I don't remember exactly what he said, but he was talking about Antifa or something, the ones that had started the fires, or maybe he thought that, right? And it was something that he read.
I remember.
And then it comes out that he was incorrect. And the very next day, he gets on his fucking, social media, does a video facing, and he apologizes. And it wasn't in one of his podcasts, right, where he literally, like, he was talking to the people, right? And that's what we should do as human beings.
That's the example. It's funny. My son is a huge Joe Rogan fan because he's into UFC and the whole thing. But he loves him, and he listens, and he on YouTube. That's one of the main things he watches. But yeah, I don't agree with a lot of his politics, but that was a character that shows so much character.
It does.
And most people don't do that, and that we need a lot more examples of that.
Absolutely. You know what? Everyone's politics is everyone's politics. Some believe this way, some believe that way, right? And that's okay. That is okay. That's the beauty of democracy, right? But real fundamental things in life, right? When we fuck up, you take accountability for it. And it sets the standard, right? It sets the standard for the people around you and the people, gravitating towards you. So it was a beautiful thing.
Oh yeah.
Man, it's always good to be able to talk about these things.
Cathartic.
Yeah, it really is. As we kind of, sort of, start to wind this down, I want to reach out to him and ask him: is there any stories that you can think of that he can finish on?
No.
Because I know he said that was the last story before, but I'd love to end it.
So, but I will tell you that out of my friendship with Mickey, that some of my favorite stories actually did get highlighted. The Billy Idol story, the Jennifer Aniston story.
Oh God.
I would say
I don't think we're going to be able to use any of those stories.
Right.
We will.
I will tell you if
I'm going to be in so much fucking trouble.
No, you won't.
Actually, to finish off on this, because
talking to Mike.
Yeah, if we can finish off on this. Because I feel like it rounds Mickey off to the public. Because Mickey, yes, grew up in Beverly Hills in the entertainment industry, and has established himself in his own career now, and has touched upon his kids. But Mickey is also a loving father and a wonderful human being. Oh. So Mickey, if you can take us off with the story when your first child was born, and that's actually my favorite Mickey story.
No, that's way too personal.
Well,
listen, that was during the Thanks a Latte years, and but it was that was when my daughter Emma was born, and it was 1998. Yeah, and it was 1998, and she was a beautiful child, and we got her. There was a little bit of complications, and she turns out she's autistic. She's on the spectrum, and she's doing wonderful, and she's verbal, and she's a wonderful young woman now who's 22, and attends school in Long Beach, and she's really wonderful, and she's great. But at the time, it was our first child, and I just remember feeling overwhelmed and everything. And I mean, it's not much of a story. I don't even know what to say other than the fact that with all the, craziness from the complications and everything, when we brought her home, and then, I had a dance with her in my living room, and I remember that to this day. That's awesome. Again, it's not much of a story. It's just that, again, you talk about, changing from, going like, what's important about the entertainment business or this or that, and that flipped a switch for me. And selfishly, we weren't planning on having a child that early, and it happened, and it was the best thing that ever happened to me, and it certainly expedited my growth, because I think I was in a childlike state of past tense, and as opposed to actually, yes, it's nice to look in the past, and it's really good to go back and go through, memories and stuff. But dwelling on shit for too long is really detrimental to enjoying every moment. So, and again, what they used to talk to us about in acting school, just be in the moment and try to stay in the moment. And I try to do that more and more, because, there's not enough medication to keep yourself, unless you really breathe and just try to, not be a dick to people, and you try to be a good person. Because you don't need religion for that. You just need to be a good person, and mean that it's beneficial if I'm nice to you, because then you're going to be nice to me. Yeah. So,
man, I get that. It's I hear this from people, and I can't wait to have my own kid.
I wish you all the best on that.
My wife and I plan to have one of our own and then adopt one. But
see, I feel like a dick now. I should have adopted.
This has been my plan since I've been a kid. But, okay. Even my brother was telling me how, like, when he had his kids, because he had twins, there's just something, it just changed his life. It just changed his life. Daniel talks about it. I mean, like, all good people, good dads,
good people.
Good people. Well, yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of fucking dickhead dads out there, unfortunately. But for you, did you know from the beginning that your daughter was autistic, or was that?
No, it wasn't until 3 years old, and we thought she had a hearing disability at first. We thought that it was just something, because look, when you called her name and you were behind her, she wouldn't respond, and so I thought it was an auditory thing. It wasn't until because we were luckily, and again, I don't believe in fate at all, but we were living up in the ranch area with my parents, and my dad noticed something, and he's the one that found this doctor at UCLA, Schmidt-Lochner, who was a specialist. And again, specialist is in huge quotes, because even to this day, autism there's no idea there's no neurological, chemical, biological idea of what's going on. And that's the worst part, is because then you talk about money. They hooked her up with every drug that was, available, and, this Risperdal and that drug and this drug. But anyway, to answer your question, yeah, he noticed it at 3 years old, and ever since then, my wife has been like, you talk about a saint. I mean, she used to drive 2 hours every day, like back and forth, to do this or that. Wow. Just never.
Amazing.
I mean, I complain if the coffee's not hot enough. I'm just, that's wrong, but she doesn't complain about anything.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I do all the complaining for the family.
Yeah, you're the yenta.
For the street, actually. Well, probably for the street. I'm a big yenta.
When you found out, though, when
I was pissed. I was pissed. I was really pissed. Yeah, I mean, I'm an atheist now, but at the time, it really was just, okay, that's fucking bullshit.
I get that.
I mean, because I had every intention of, let me put it another way, because, we all feel we get slighted in life. Why me this? Why me that? First of all, I mean, compared to everybody else, yeah, I'm living a great friggin' life.
I get it.
So, but in your little myopic view of things, you go, why me again? Why me? And then it's like, Jesus Christ, you're talking about yourself when it's not about you. It's about, your child, and so it forces you to grow. Otherwise, you're gonna just look and be a bad example. And but yes, in the beginning, the initial reaction was anger.
Yeah, I get that.
And resentment.
All these years later, how has it worked out for her?
Well, I still call her a bitch all the time.
No, but is she high functioning? Is she?
Oh, she's fantastic. I mean, Daniel, you know her. I mean, luckily she's the funniest one in the family. Like, other than me, I would say. She and I, we get along. We have a weird sense of humor. She's funny. She's great. Of course, she's got challenges, but she is an amazing young woman, and
that's awesome.
Compared to where she's,
by the way, she can probably riff off any animated artist that has done any voiceover acting
or even draw,
anything. She can list it off to you like the back of her hand, as if she has done statistics her entire life. She is extremely.
Isn't that incredible? Yeah, that's incredible. They talk about. They think I don't know if it's true or not, but like Elon Musk, right? It's like there's
Asperger's.
Yeah.
But there's a highly focused.
Yeah, laser on some things.
and again,
that's my sister. That is my sister. Sorry to cut you off, but it's because
you get one. I'd had 100.
Yeah. She's autistic, and so but with cars, it's just it's crazy.
But that's what's amazing. That's what's so frustrating to me is with all the advancements of science, the brain is they don't know anything.
Don't know shit.
They don't know a thing.
They don't know anything.
And it's
very
just
little.
It's frustrating, and because it's like the untapped universe that needs to be explored.
Did you see Neuralink by Elon Musk?
No.
Check it out.
I have two things to watch.
Yeah. It's not a movie. It's a
new study.
It's a new study. It's his business. He's creating.
Okay, go ahead. I know what a Neuralink is.
Yeah, the Neuralink, right? It's so like interfacing with the brain to be able to.
They can do it on rudimentary levels, but the idea is to be able to interface.
Yeah. So they did it with pigs just recently. You should check it out. It's like an hour thing.
Really?
Yeah, it's incredible.
I want to see.
It's like you can see where this is going for sure.
That's
100%.
I just want to be old enough to see some of that stuff.
Do you not see the technological
exponential growth of the whole thing?
Like the iPhone came out in 2007.
No, I know. But I'm just saying it's just I want to make sure the world's still here.
It will be.
Okay.
It will.
It will be probably, right?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely believe it. Hey, as we finally wrap this up, I want to thank you so much for coming on the podcast, sharing your story, sharing all the amazing things that
I want to apologize.
Do not apologize another time. This was fantastic.
Thank you.
I know that Daniel's bored and he wants to go.
Yeah.
I'm just
no, actually, my wife just
producer has important phone calls.
My wife just texted me divorce papers.
No, oh my God! No, the only reason I did that is because I was going to bring this up. Stephen Gizzy, our editor for the video or the audio, not the video. That is this beautiful man right here. He listened to one of the podcasts and he goes, "Maybe you want to. I know you're joking. I know you're being sarcastic, right? But maybe I tone it down just a little bit because if they don't truly know you and it's the first time listening, they might think you're an asshole to him." And I was like, oh shit. And then I listened to it and I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense. And so I said something, so it was just fucking with you.
We're good. We're good.
If
people are good, they should know you're an asshole.
I think by now we've
Facts.
I'm in the club.
Yeah.
I think I've proven that off for the last couple hours. Yeah.
Woo! Oh, that was a little loud. Thank you.
Mazel, I thank you for the opportunity.
Absolutely.
If I could do this once a week, then with Medicare, if I can have that as a copay, whatever the copay is, I'll come here because it's really a cathartic thing to get it off, and talk. So.
I appreciate it.
I'm starting to do that vocal fry thing now. I hate that. Anyway, thank you very much for all of your hospitality.
Oh, for sure. Do you have any social media or do you have any stuff that
I do, but it's under construction right now. I want to keep it under wraps.
All right.
I'll forward that to you. I appreciate it. Actually,
don't look them up.
Actually, the Seldoms. Actually, my band has a new song on YouTube. You can check that out.
Oh, nice.
So can we follow the Seldoms?
The Seldoms on YouTube. There's a song called Sonnet, which I wrote or co-wrote with my bandmates, so Sean McKendry.
Beautiful.
And Jeff Marshall.
I gotta tell you, some of these bandmates, they've been together for years. I mean, sorry to speak for you.
No, since fourth grade.
Touched upon it at all. I mean, please tell us about your drummer who's toured in Nashville and many other places for many
that's
people.
a whole
and you guys have really...
I can't because then the divorce would have happened. The bottom line is, we have a my drummer's the coolest because I've known him since I was in 4th grade, and like he said, we did plays together in high school, but he went out and after the fact, he's been a studio drummer, professional drummer. I forgot some of the names that he country stars. I don't like country, so I can't remember the names.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you,
open for Garth Brooks or something.
Yeah, something like that. And his guitarist and his drummer, I mean, truly, some of the and Mickey, of course, himself. I got the pleasure of being able to just sit into the studio with them and have a couple drinks and jump on a microphone. And I can't sing. I mean, if anybody hears my voice right now, I'll tell you that I can't sing. But to be able to have that opportunity, they are just such a cool bunch of people.
Yeah, I think we're going to start streaming from that. We're going to do like one of those like Daryl Hall kind of things where we just like,
yeah.
put a video cam and we're going to do like,
that right there, the Mevo, man. You got to get that. We didn't live stream this because I didn't get your permission. So
thank God.
You're good. Yeah. I have to ask people if we do it. But you should check that out. I'll send you information on it.
We're going to erase the whole tape.
Oh, absolutely. The audio is not even a recording.
No, I heard the blue light thing.
That's a sore subject.
That is a very, very, very sore subject. We're going to pass on that. We're going to wrap this bitch up.
Amen.
Amen.
Mickey, thank you for being our first
Jew?
Halloween episode.
Jew?
Our first signature cocktail.
Oh, I'm glad I could.
Thank you so much.
Of course, mine's empty, and that's because I'm a schnurr. Thank you.
That means it was good.
Yeah, that's true.
Bro,
Muzzle.
Amazing.
Thank you for your show.
No, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Love you, brother.
Love you too.
Boom.
Namaste.
All right. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening to Back to Your Story. Have a good night, people. Peace out. Motherfucker. Boom. Shaka-laka-laka-laka. Wowzers. That was freaking awesome, guys. I had such an amazing podcast with Mickey Yablans. I hope I said his name correct. I think he's behind me. I have no fucking clue. But if you guys really like this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe. You see my head right there? Click that so you guys can subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the channel. And if you guys want to go down the rabbit hole and watch more amazing content from Back to Your Story, we got Tanya O, the badass bassist from Ireland. Click that right there. Watch her episode. Watch that clip. Have a wonderful night, people. Peace.